Greetings, 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 good people. Thanks for clicking on the video. If you are new here, welcome. Hi, my name is Royal B. And if you're not new here, welcome back. So, on today's episode of The Three Stooges, we have Maxine's baby, who has been associated with or is being associated with another allegation, okay, and not a good one. We got Sean Diddy Combs. The trial is over. Has everyone recovered? It was a lot. Okay. So he is facing up to 20 years, y'all. And his sentencing date has been set. So we're going to touch on that. And as far as Jay-Z is concerned, he has been circulating in the news or trending, I should say, on social media because there's a gentleman that has been trying to get Jay-Z to take a DNA test to prove that he is Jay-Z's son. So we'll get into that. So as you're coming in, please pay your admission fee by hitting the like button. I greatly appreciate it. All right, you guys. So first up, Tyler Perry. So there's an actor who is accusing a Tyler Perry Studios VP of grape. And he is claiming that Tyler Perry allegedly helped cover it up. Now, if you are unaware, recently Tyler Perry was accused of sexual assault. There was a lawsuit filed against Tyler Perry himself and Tyler Perry Studios, if I'm not mistaken, where a gentleman who was an actor in The Oval. I never seen The Oval. Was he actually in The Oval? Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, he accused Tyler Perry of basically being hands-on with him and inappropriate. All right. So now here comes another allegation from this gentleman who is saying that the VP of Tyler Perry Studios did this to him, and he is claiming that Tyler Perry covered it up. Okay, so the actor and Army vet Braxton Demarco Wells is calling out Tyler Perry Studios, claiming that he was graped in 2022 by Mark E. Swinton, the VP of the company. So this gentleman is saying that he was flown from California to Georgia under fake work promises for BET's The Oval. Now, if you guys haven't learned anything from the Diddy case or the Diddy trial or case, flying someone from one place to another for sexual activities, or if you engage in sexual activities and you flew someone out, that's not really legal, okay? But he is saying that he was flown out under the false pretenses that he would be, in the Oval. And he said once there, he is alleging that the VP of Tyler Perry Studios groomed and assaulted him and that Tyler Perry knew and stayed silent. Okay. He also says that his lawyer forced him into a hush deal or an NDA while the case was still open and worked with Perry's team behind his back. So he basically was backstabbed by his lawyer. This gentleman's lawyer forced him to sign an NDA, pretty much. If this is true, it sounds like money was exchanged allegedly, and this gentleman was forced to sign an NDA. So now he wants the NDA voided, and he plans to sue for rape, emotional distress, and legal malpractice. He says that the law protects veterans like him and calls the whole situation a cover-up. Now, I understand that the allegations are not against Tyler Perry in this instance, but it's still not a good look. It's bad, okay? There are a lot of people who are 50-50. Some believe it, some don't. Whatever is going to be proven in a court of law is basically what I'm going to go by, even though I know sometimes you know how the law can be. I'll leave it at that. And Tyler Perry has a new Madea movie coming out. So I wonder when he starts doing press and interviews, what's that going to be like? I'm pretty sure he's probably going to tell interviewers not to ask him anything about any of these allegations. But Medea's Destination Wedding is scheduled to premiere on Netflix July 11th. Will you be watching? Are you going to continue to support Tyler Perry? Do you think that these allegations are false and it's a money grab? Share your thoughts down below. All right, let's move this train along. Who is up next? All right, we got Diddy. This entire situation, ordeal, trial, verdict, after the aftermath has been a mess. And there are some jurors that are speaking out now after the fact. Diddy has basically been found guilty on two of the five. Is it five charges? Let's pull the charges up. I know I have it here somewhere. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Yes, he has been found guilty. Here we are. These are the five charges. These are the charges that he was charged with. And out of the five, he's been found guilty on two. And each one of these charges carry a maximum penalty of 10 years each. So he's facing up to 20 years. A lot of people don't believe that he will do 20 years. Of course, his lawyers are hoping that he does not do 20 years. But after the verdict was read in the courtroom, Diddy was escorted back to his cell, I guess, because he was not released. A lot of people thought that he would be released. He wasn't. Judge felt like, no, he is a danger to society. There were written statements provided by Cassie and others stating that they fear for their life and Diddy should stay in jail until sentencing. Well, when he was escorted back to his cell, he was met with a standing ovation. So his lawyer says that he received a standing ovation from fellow inmates after being acquitted of sex trafficking and racketeering charges. Okay, so according to his attorney, the music mogul received a standing ovation from fellow inmates when he returned to federal custody after being acquitted of, you see the charges there. According to his lawyer, Diddy's lawyer, the inmates were saying we never get to see anyone who beats the government. Okay, basically the prosecution. Yeah. Okay. Other criminals cheering you on. I guess. In more recent news, his sentencing date, okay, has been set for October 3rd, right? So this is according to TMZ. Mark your calendars. Sean Diddy Combs finally has a sentencing date for his prostitution conviction in his federal criminal trial. So the judge just officially set Diddy's sentencing for October 3rd, the same day he originally proposed last week when Diddy was convicted of 2 charges for transporting male prostitutes for sex. Okay, Diddy will remain in custody until his sentencing date. I know a lot of people assumed that he would get out, but the judge said absolutely not. And by that time, he will already have been locked up for over a year, and his time served will go toward his sentence. Okay, the music mogul faces a maximum of 20 years, a decade for each count, but it's unlikely he gets sentenced to the max. We don't know which way the judge's gavel is going to swing, so at least you're aware that he is facing up to 20 years. So Diddy's defense and prosecutor are divided on sentencing guidelines. Diddy's attorneys say sentencing guidelines start at 21 months, with prosecutors saying the sentencing guidelines start at 51 months, okay? Ultimately, it will be up to the judge. And from what I have been following, it doesn't seem that this judge is a fan of Diddy or his team. But, you know, judges have to be quote unquote fair and unbiased. But there have been written statements from people like Cassie, who was the prosecution's star witness, which I think was a huge mistake. But that's probably going to be discussion for another day for the sake of time. So, yeah. There you have it. Diddy's going to be sentenced October the 3rd, okay? Now, the internet has been just going absolutely positively crazy. People have been making jokes. Some people were upset, excuse me. I thought that this was interesting, okay? I'm not going to say this was funny. I just think it's just interesting, okay? So, Saucy Santana was on live, and someone asked him if he missed Diddy, and he responded saying, yes, he misses Diddy. Diddy was fun. That's a weird question to ask someone, and it's probably even weirder that I'm going to play this video. Like to hear it? Here it go.
What time the show? The show until later. Do I miss Diddy? Yeah, Diddy was fun.
So So Santana is the best friend, I guess, of Carisha, Young Miami. Young Miami and Diddy dated for a stint or for a spell. And there were a lot of jokes flying around about Saucy Santana and Diddy. So for someone to ask him that while he's on live, they were obviously trying to be funny, okay? I just think that's weird, but whatever. Let's move along. All right, Jay Z. Whoo-wee. Jay Z's name is trending. And I'm going to tell you something. Nicki Minaj is on his neck, okay? But that's going to be in a separate video. So this gentleman by the name of Ramir, okay, he has been trying to get Diddy to, not Diddy, sorry, Jay-Z to take a paternity test for several years. He is stating that Jay-Z is his father. His mother has passed away. I don't know how long ago his mom passed away. I forgot. Forgive me. But his mom told, according to Ramir, his mother told him that Jay-Z is his father. There were witnesses who stated that they allegedly stated that they remember Jay-Z hanging around his mother. And I wish I would have written down her name out of respect before starting this video. So Ramir has also, I think it was his godmother also confirmed what Ramir says that his mom told him, and he has been trying to pursue Jay-Z, trying to communicate with Jay-Z to be able to take a paternity test. Ramir says it's not about money, but he wants closure. He wants to know who his father is. So 50 Cent posted this saying that Jay-Z is trendy because the judge has granted Ramir his request to move forward with his case. And the judge has demanded Jay-Z to respond to Ramir's paternity lawsuit by July 18th. I know that Baller Alert, Jasmine Brand, TMZ has been covering this situation for some time, but I can't find any of these media outlets, any articles saying that the judge has granted Ramir his requests and demanding that or requiring Jay-Z to take a paternity test. I see court documents floating around, but I'm not putting those up. I did read it, but we will see. This is very, very interesting. A lot of people feel like he looks just like Jay-Z. They also say that he looks like one of Jay-Z and Beyonce's twins, Rumi. So I don't know. I don't know what's true. I don't know what's not true. I think that Jay-Z could be dodging taking this paternity test for a myriad of reasons. One of them, just off the top of my dome, is the fact that Ramir's mother, at the time of conception, the alleged conception, was 15 or 16 years old, and Jay-Z was older. So if it's determined by DNA test that Jay-Z is this young man's father, then that means that he was engaging in intercourse with a minor. And that's definitely not a good look. It's not a good act. It's not a good look. So that's off the top of my head. That's the only thing that, not the only thing, but that's one of the main things that I think is the reason why Jay-Z has been dodging this young man. Or it could be just he's just not interested in the publicity and I don't know. So if a judge indeed demands him to take a DNA test, I'll be surprised. And I'll also be surprised to see what the outcome will be. Okay. I don't know, y'all. This world is getting crazier and crazier by the second. Drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about Jay-Z and this paternity DNA test incident. Do you think that this is true? Share your thoughts on Tyler Perry. Are you going to be watching Medea's Final Destination trip or whatever the heck the name of the movie is? How do you feel about the allegations against Tyler Perry, Maxine's baby? Are you a fan? And as far as, let me tell you something. As far as Diddy, I'm all Diddy'd out. Just let's get to the sentencing. I wish the sentencing was a lot sooner, but the judge said, nope, October 3rd it is, and October 3rd it will be. And I honestly can't wait until all this is over. This has just become a spectacle. I know that those jurors had to endure watching and listening to some of the most horrific visual and audio It's just too much. I'm glad it's all over for now. Okay. But like I said, drop down in the comments, share your thoughts, let me know what you think. All right, y'all, I'm signing off. Until next time, I'll talk to you later.